Hello there, Victoria Dioh here. Today, I want to talk about how you are being tied into knots, how you are being cheated into confusion. There's actually a saying, it's actually a quote that says, if you don't choose your vision, if you don't decide what your life is going to look like, society will do that for you. And I completely agree because society has been designed to make sure that you are not powerful. Society is here to make sure that you abide by their rules. Look around you and think of some of the most successful people out there. Think about some of the most successful people that you know who are, I'm going to take these glasses off because they're just glaring through the computer, but I want you to think about some of the most successful people you know. They are all rule breakers. They've broken the rules. They've either not gone to school, not finished school. They've maybe done something they were told not to do. And that's how they've managed to create success. A lot of successful people now encourage their children to be rule breakers because what they've realized is that the system that we are part of is a system that has been existing for centuries and times have moved on. So it doesn't make sense that we're still being expected to live by a set of rules that have since expired because life has moved on so quickly. I mean, look at it now. We've got AI. If you look at the school system now, it's not designed to accommodate AI. And that's irrespective of whether you agree with it or not. The reason why I talk about this is because I come from a place where I empower high achieving leaders to use their intuition and really discover their purpose, but most importantly, to help their teams experience the purpose, understand their purpose as well. And what's so clear is that whilst we were born with our intuition, we kept on being discouraged to use our intuition day in, day out. All you have to do is look at the TV, look at the news. We are expected to live in a space of fear, anxiety, stress, and so much more. If you look at a lot of the medication that we get given, and I'm not a doctor, but what I can say is this, is that sometimes you get medication to suppress a feeling, to suppress the origination of a particular disease as opposed to dealing with the issue. And I know that because I've been to the doctors. I remember there's actually a medication that's on the market at the moment. And the doctor was like, "Oh, I think you should get it." For a number of reasons, right? You know, I've had serious back pain. I've had a weight increase, substantial weight increase in 4 years. So the doctor was like, "Oh, I think you should take this medication." I was like, "Fine, I'll take it." What are the, sort of like not the side effects, but sort of like in about 10 years' time, what should I expect? And the doctor couldn't tell me. He's like, "Well, it's just one of those new tablets out there or one of these new medications." I was like, "But you can't expect me to take something when you don't know the foundational purpose of this medication. Just because you've been told that you should market this for financial purposes, for me, it's not doing me any good." How many of you have experienced that? How many of you have been given something and just told to do it because the rules say? It's almost like that film that says, "Well, because I said so," where the mom keeps on giving out all these rules, and when the kids try and retaliate, she'll say, "Because I said so." Society shouldn't be like that. And the only way you can come up with a proper reason to come in and justify yourself is when you connect to your truth, when you know who you are. When you know who you are, you can then make better and more powerful decisions for yourself. So this particular medication, for example, because I said no, it's quite actually there's two that I said no to. It's really interesting that now people are experiencing really severe comebacks on these medications. Now, I don't know whether this, I would have experienced the same side effects or not. What I'm saying is that know who you are and make your decisions. You're a whole separate entity, and you should be able to make those decisions without following people around like a sheep, following society around like a sheep. So I'm encouraging you to be able to think for yourself, to be able to be empowered by yourself. And the main tool to enable you to feel empowered is by using your intuition. Your intuition is your second gift from God. You're born, you get given your breath. That's your first gift. Then you get given your intuition. But you're designed to lose it. You're designed to lose it because of the thoughts and fears from your parents, from society, from school, from nursery, wherever you go and stuff. It's like you're being told to be scared about certain things. You're being told what's bad and what's good. And it's based on society's expectations. We also grow up in a space where, what's good or what's acceptable, maybe in England, may be very different in Africa. So we also grow up with cultural beliefs as well. So those cultural beliefs don't help either. Because I know people, again, I originate from Africa, born in Leeds, but we all get those different things. So for example, in Cameroon, where I come from, if you cross your legs in front of an elder, that's deemed as rude. From an energetic perspective, if you cross your legs, it's deemed that you're not allowing the energy to flow. In most of the England, you cross your legs, nobody cares. Now imagine this being life-changing or life impactful. Imagine how different it is to believe these different things of society. What's good, what's not good. And then you also look at the powers that be. All I need to say is, during lockdown, what happened? People were expected to take the vax. People were expected to stay at home. Families passed away without them being able to go and without other family members being able to say goodbye. And there was a party. There was a party being held. It's like, well, what rules? What rules? So society decide on one thing, and then majority follow, but there's a select few, and they're normally the most successful, who don't follow it. I'm not asking you to break the rules. What I'm saying to you is this: know who you are, know who you stand for. When you embody your intuition, you don't just become a leader of others, you become a leader of you. You get to lead your life. You get to be able to connect to your truth. You get to be able to stand up for who you believe in, not for who others believe in. Finding your purpose is a great ingredient. It's an essential ingredient, because when you know what you were put on this earth from, your intuition grows to even more of a superpower. Why? Because you stand your ground and you stand in your essence. I've always been confident. I've always been confident. I've always said what I think. I've always led big teams. I've worked on some incredible projects. When I discovered that there's something called a purpose, and when I knew what mine was, it shows. I walk into a room and I know who I am. I don't need someone to tell me who I am. I stand in my truth. I don't ask for anybody's approval. That doesn't mean that I haven't got things to learn, by the way. There's a lot I have to learn, but I know who I am. And that itself gives you a level of authority that you can't buy. You can't buy authority. It comes from within you. So before you decide to give your power away, before you decide to give your voice away, and if you're already doing that, you'll know, I'm asking you to think twice and decide whether you want to be that person who can look back in life and say, if only I had. Or maybe you look back at life and go, do you know what? I tried. I gave it a go. And that's where I come in, because people who have worked with me have connected to their intuition, have connected to their purpose, and it has brought them different and variable amounts of success. Some of them have literally been able to go and take exams that they never thought they could take. Some of them have managed to create relationships that they never thought they would have. Others have been able to have family relationships and family time that they never thought they would experience. And others have gone out to create more opportunities in their business that has led to more income. Learning how to use your intuition, embodying it and embodying your purpose isn't one dimensional. It varies on who you are, what you're trying to do. And there's so many different levels of truth that you need to tap into. I want to talk about somebody in the media at the moment. He is called Eddie, I think he's called Eddie Abu. Great guy, Ghanaian origin, I believe, and he talks about eating eggs. He is passionate about eating eggs and eating meat, and he believes that as long as you eat food that looks like food, so no processed food, you will have a healthy life. And what's so interesting is he believes it, he sticks by it. It's literally how he has built his audience. Recently, this week exactly, somebody has published a magazine article about him. And it's all about the fact that he's had a heart attack because he eats eggs and everything else. And he's literally posted the news article, and he sat there eating eggs on a video going, I'm still here. Why are you making stuff up about me? Society will always try and turn the narrative to suit them. I'm asking you to write your narrative, suit your narrative, and determine what your narrative is going to be. If you want to know how to work with me, just drop me a message, comment on the link below, or comment on the comments. But most importantly, whether you do or not, lean into you. Don't let somebody else do it for you. Because if they do, I can guarantee you this, more than likely, it will never, ever, ever be for your benefit. It'll always be for theirs. I'll speak to you soon. Take care. Until next time.